Hey, welcome back. Now we're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD Remix. I keep on wanting to say 3, but now's not the time. It's just not the time yet. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2.5. Earlier in our podcast, we had a session in a podcast talking about how we were disappointed that the American version of Kingdom Hearts is pretty much not getting any bundles or any deals or any special editions of that nature. Now they are. So now it's really kind of sudden when you think about it. I mean, they're literally 1 month away from release, and all of a sudden they're hitting us with, now if you pay $50 more, now you can get this boxed bundle, which comes with some stuff. Now, but at the same time, it's like, now again, if you've been watching the show, if you've been a fan of the Brotherhood of Gaming, you know that we are pretty big Kingdom Hearts fans. We do follow the series, we talk about it, we love it. So now I find myself kind of on edge, like, do I want it that bad? Because, like, Kingdom Hearts kind of peaked in popularity, like, within the first decade of the new century. from 2002 all the way to, like, I'd say 2008, when the games were plentiful, like Kingdom Hearts 2 hype. Like, Kingdom Hearts 2 did such a legendary job, for, like, potentially one of the best games on the PlayStation 2. That game just did so much. It got so many people on the hype train. Millions were loving it. The songs were gorgeous. And once Kingdom Hearts 2 ended, people were so hyped to hear news about Kingdom Hearts 3, especially when the teaser ending of Kingdom Hearts 2 had Sora opening up the letter, and Riku and Kairi on his sides looking at it, like, you're like, oh my god, that's gotta be Kingdom Hearts 3. They're making a freaking Kingdom Hearts 3. Close, but they're making 3 new games, but no. So yeah, the hype for Kingdom Hearts 2, the hype for Kingdom Hearts 3 was ever growing, and we kind of were always believing that they were working on it. We had the mangas going on the side, and then they announced that they were making 3 new games to further tell the lore, the story, and express it further. We had Birth by Sleep telling us the prequel. We had 358 Over 2 Days, which told a side story alongside Kingdom Hearts 1 through the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2. And then we got Recoded, which did little to advance the plot, but at least it was something. So, meanwhile, while we were getting those 3 games and those 3 stories coming out at separate times with their own things going on, we assumed that in the background they were working on Kingdom Hearts 3 this whole time to wrap it all up. Now, even while each of those games were coming out, the hype was still building. Like, people were still on the Kingdom Hearts train. Like, and why wouldn't you be? I mean, it's an awesome series. And a lot of them still are. We all still are. But the problem is, it feels like Square Enix really kind of dropped the ball. Like, once those came out, we just kept waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and waiting, and nothing was coming out. It's like, yeah, once Kingdom Hearts 2 ended, we were waiting for news about Kingdom Hearts 3. We were waiting. We got news that Kingdom Hearts 358 Over 2 Days was coming out. Alright, we got the game. We were waiting. Anything about Kingdom Hearts 3? No, Birth by Sleep's coming out. Great, we love it. Talking about it for a while. Now we're waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3, because especially with the ending of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, it was again teasing us with something about Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, with all the characters chanting Sora's name, like, oh, he's going to be the end-all be-all of this whole thing. He's going to save all of us. Okay, great. Kingdom Hearts 3, where is it? We're waiting. Kingdom Hearts Recoded comes out. It does little to advance the plot, but we feel it's setting us up. It's a good game, kind of disappointing in the long run, but I digress. I kind of thought it should be a movie. Lo and behold, it's being turned into a movie now. Which it should have been in the freaking first place. And waiting. And yet it just didn't stop. And now here we are, 2015, and it's almost been 10 years since Kingdom Hearts 2 has come out. How weird is that? Almost 10 years. If not 10 years since Kingdom Hearts 2 has come out. That is a long-ass time. Just saying, that's a long-ass time to be waiting for a game. And it just seemed like Square Enix was really dropping the ball on their priorities, trying to push Final Fantasy as much as they could, and with flop after flop after failure. It ain't happening. And now they got debts to pay, bills to pay. Tomb Raider came out, made millions. Still, they weren't happy about it. It didn't clean up the mess their Final Fantasy failures have made. It's just constantly dropping the ball on what was making their paychecks. And Kingdom Hearts 3 was constantly put on the back burner. And now, even just now, they one of the heads, like Nomura or something, is now like he moves on to Kingdom Hearts 3. He's like, okay, I'm done with Final Fantasy. I gotta focus on Kingdom Hearts 3. So yeah, here we are. At the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 remixes do tide us over while giving us the entire series on discs for the PlayStation 3, as well as giving us the final mix versions, which, of course, wasn't released in America unless you were good at hacking. So, the bundle for Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD Remix. It comes with a nice box, like these Tales of Xillia boxes. It comes with a plushie of a Heartless. It comes with the Disney pin. It comes with a copy of the first game. A copy of the first game, which... Where is it? Where'd it go? Great, I gotta look for that later. Yeah, so it comes with which is weird, because now you're unnecessarily raising the price for another game, which odds are, people who are buying this game probably already got this one. So that's weird. It's like, why are you gonna buy 2.5 Remix if you didn't buy the first one? So why are you bundling the first game with it just to raise the price when odds are people buying this one already got it? Yeah, I mean, you're just needlessly raising the price more. So yeah, it comes with the first copy of the first game. Nope, which don't need. I don't need it. I bought it. Did you? And it comes with an art book. Other than that, nothing. So I'm just like, even though I'm a huge, possibly one of the, I am one of the biggest Kingdom Hearts fans. Like, I'm just on the fence. Like, do I even want it? Sure, I want the game. I'm gonna get the game, but you can either get the huge bundle, which is really expensive, or you can get the limited edition, which, if you pre-order it, comes with the Disney pin. Now, above all else, I do want that, because if you go to Disneyland, as often as I do, you know that those pins are valuable. Like, there's people walking around at Disneyland with necklaces that have like pins like all over their necklaces, and they're trading. It's like it's an addiction. It's like collecting stamps, collecting trading cards, trading. It's an addiction over at Disneyland where they're trading, trying to find more rare pins. So yeah, if you can get an exclusive one from a game, oh yeah, definitely. Like, even people who were pissed that we weren't getting the other bundles that came with Sora figures, they at the very least said that we want those Sora figures, but we still want that pin because we know that's valuable. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna be fine just pre-ordering the limited edition version, because like I still get the pin, which is by far the most valuable thing in there. Because a plushie of a Heartless, cute, but if you go to any anime store, you can see like a bunch of them. They're not hard to come by. I mean, a plushie is a plushie, and like it's just gonna sit there, get ruined, collect dust over time. Plushies are plushies. I mean, figures, they're cool. I like figures, but like I've mentioned before, figures for me, all they do is sit on the shelf and collect dust. Like, as much as I love these Xillia figures and Tails figures, which I'll still buy, ultimately I admit that they don't do anything for me because all they do is just collect dust on the shelf. So, priorities. So, yeah, I really gotta think about priorities and how much do I really want to spend on this. And yeah, even though I'm a huge-ass Kingdom Hearts fan, I think I'll be perfectly fine just getting the limited edition, because one, I already have the final mix versions of the games. So there's nothing on those games are gonna surprise me, because I already know everything. I've known everything for years. Back during the hype, because the final mix versions didn't come out much longer after the first versions did. So by the time we got our Kingdom Hearts 2 retail disc for the PlayStation 2, like a few months later, they had released Final Mix over in Japan. So for that long, I've already had the Final Mix versions of each game. So and completed them multiple times on their hardest difficulty settings. I fought Terra. I fought the Lingering Spirit. I went to the Cavern of Remembrance. I fought all the organization members on their hard difficulty settings. I've been there. I've done that. So, at the same time, I'm really kind of not looking forward to retreading the same ground, because I remember how hard that was. Like, the Lingering Spirit in Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix goes on my record for potentially the hardest boss fight I have ever fought in a video game. He is that unfair, ridiculous, and straight up cheater. So I'm excited for it, yet at the same time I'm not, because I'm not looking forward to getting my ass handed to me over and over again. But I am looking forward to playing Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix on the big screen in its full HD resolution, which it should have been. That's cool. I can't wait to do that, because that's going to be a different experience. And seeing Kingdom Hearts recoded in movie form, which is what I wanted and said it should have been when I got the game years ago on the DS. I specifically explained, and everybody who knows me knows I explained this to them and watched the show. I explained this, that as okay, as a fun game as it is, you did not need a whole game, a whole retail game, to tell this story. This could have been an OVA. This could have been an episode, like a special Kingdom Hearts episode that you could have watched on Square Enix's official website, or they could have released digitally on the PlayStation Network for a small price. You did not need a whole game to tell this story, which ultimately didn't tell too much. It was mostly like a bit of story wrapped around a whole bunch of mediocre gameplay events, which, okay for the DS, but overall just unnecessary for the story that we got. Yes, it progresses the story, not by much. So, again, this could have been a movie first. An OVA first. Could have been that. And now it seems like, yeah, just like how they did with 358 over 2 days, while as a game it was still good. Again, I kind of thought, yeah, it probably could have worked as a movie better than a game. However, the game wasn't bad. It was probably not the greatest, but as far as Nintendo DS games go, yeah, definitely one of the best ones out there. Because even though the DS has an amazing and huge library, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days definitely did have a lot of pretty good gameplay mechanics and ideas there. So yeah, good game. Yeah, I'm fine with that having been a game, but recoded, like, it told us so little that it could have been summed up in 20 minutes. Had they made a 20-minute, 30-minute OVA, they could have got everything out and recoded. But yeah, that's really exciting that they're actually turning Recoded into a movie now, and they're adding more to it. Great! Good! That's what it should have been! So, again, really excited for that. Now, yeah, we're going to get the game when it comes out on December 2nd. And like last time, when the first one came out, on the day it comes out, we are going to be live streaming the whole day that disc. We're going to live stream the movie, and then we're going to go into Birth by Sleep. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I stand on 2.5 HD Remix. I'm fine with getting the limited edition as long as I get the pin. All the other stuff, art books, plushie of Heartless, not really feeling it. I mean, I have a shitload of Kingdom Hearts stuff already, so I'll be fine without a box. Well, you've been watching Brotherhood of Gaming. Subscribe. See ya on the later videos.